Welcome to MetalCast, the podcast where we're turning up the heat on all things metal, roofing. On this show, we'll explore the world of metal roofing from its durability to design, expert insights, and more. Join us as we bang out the details on the toughest roofs in the game. Get ready to unleash the power of metal roofing.
Hello and welcome to MetalCast from Metal Coffee Shop. My name is Heidi Ellsworth and we're here at the end of 2025 and I brought in some of my dear friends and who really kind of know everything. The gentleman from Roof Hugger to talk about 2025 and what they're thinking about in the metal industry for 2026. So DJ, Dale, welcome to MetalCast.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited. This will be fun. We're just going to kind of have a little conversation about what we saw and what we're seeing coming in the future. But let's start with some introductions. So, DJ, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about Roof Hugger.
DJ Highnote, been with Roof Hugger now for going on 14 years. I am a certified contractor, general contractor in Florida. So before I was with Roof Hugger, I was a design build contractor, so I was doing retrofits. I grew up in the industry. My father was a district manager for Farco. My grandfather was a general contractor, metal buildings. Dale knew me when I was a little feller. So it's kind of a family deal. So Dale called and asked if I was interested in joining the Roof Hugger family, and I was excited to come over. I started on April Fool's Day. I don't know what that means, but you know, but
I love it.
You know, I'm still here. That's a good thing.
I love it, Dale.
Well, I'm Dale Nelson. I'm one of the founding partners of Roof Hugger, and as DJ said, his grandfather and I started this business. It'll be 35 years ago in January.
Wow, congratulations.
Been doing this a long time. It was Red had the original idea for a Nox Z. We started a business together, and lo and behold, other people agreed that is a great idea, and can't believe they didn't think of it. And so it's just been a very fun, very exciting business. When we first started, I was doing general contracting, but soon enough, I had to get out of general contracting simply because there were not enough hours in the day. So
that's great.
It's really taken off, and even to our own surprise as it was growing. So very, very fun. And 35 years later, it's still a family business. We still have DJ, and he's brought his son in, and I've got, I'm a sailor. I race sailboats, so I have some of my sailing buddies in here, and so we've got an engineering graduate and another guy from the construction industry. And so anyway, we not a huge company, but we sure get a lot done, I'll tell you. So.
Oh my gosh. And you have really changed the industry. I mean, with your invention and really being able to now retrofit, strengthen buildings, strengthen the purlins, really you changed the course of how metal roofs are retrofitted and metal buildings overall. So I'm really kind of interested, and maybe DJ will start with you, is just what you saw in 2025 when it comes to metal buildings, new construction, but also retrofit. What's the demand look like,
Well,
and what kind of year was it?
I think it's been an interesting year. So I think what we saw here, especially here in Florida, we had the 2 hurricanes come through the year before. And I think that showed the strength of steel, right? The strength of these metal roofs. And so I think the industry as a whole said, you know what, we have a story to tell. Let's get out and tell it. And, you know, here in the state of Florida, they're trying to mandate in certain areas that metal roofs are going to be, you know, code due to the due to the strength. So, I think that was large for coastal areas. And then I also think that insurance as a whole looks at metal roof as a much stronger way to put these roofs together. And the metal buildings are now starting to look pretty cool instead of the old barns, like I think people thought of them. So you're starting to see metal and metal and metal. And the more metal buildings you have, the more retrofits you're going to end up with. We hit this earlier in another podcast, but the industry for retrofits is over 20 billion square feet. So it's it's an industry that just keeps growing.
Yeah, and they've been going along. Dale, what have you seen?
Well, that 20 billion square feet DJ is talking about is buildings over 25 years old. So, that's market grows every year as time goes on. So this is going to be a continually expanding business that's getting more and more sophisticated with the new standing seam metal panels. There are even metal panels out now that can sustain winds in excess of 200 miles an hour. They're individually changeable. So there's all kinds of new innovation in metal panels. And we're right in the forefront of having systems that we can hold them down with and keep them attached to the building. So we're really deeply involved in that. I guess for this year, I guess interest rates were a little high toward the end of last year, coming into this year. Things, although we started out very strong, but things sort of flattened out and haven't really seen the growth we expected with a more business-friendly administration. But I think what I'm feeling, I'm going to go with feeling, it feels like things are beginning to have some momentum toward growth. So as people feel positive, they're going to invest in their older buildings. It is actually cheaper by a long shot to upgrade and enhance your older building than it will ever be to build new, given impact fees, drainage requirements, and all the new codes. So take that old building and bring it up to the current code, make it look like something. There's so many options for retrofitting roof and walls now, and we are waist deep in that market. And really, I'm really excited about the coming years. I think they're going to be very strong. So.
Yeah, I love the cladding, the metal cladding that they're doing for retrofits is so cool. And you need a strong building in order to do that. And so that's where a roof hugger is really at the heart of it all.
This year, actually, it's been the last few years we got into the purl and strengthening. This last year, I think we really started hitting it pretty hard in the market. And then the market came to us saying, hey, what do you got? I know you've been working on this. So we were able to put all these years of testing that we've done and modeling systems that we had made for us. And now we can show how much we can add to capacity of existing building purlins with sealed documents. I mean, sealed counts from actual hard lab testing, and I think that has been a huge story for us this last year.
In 2025, I mean, a huge story, and it really it goes right into the sustainability story that we're hearing. And it's been interesting when you look back at this last year. For years we've been talking sustainability, but this last year, that messaging just tweaked to resiliency. And you've just heard, instead, I don't know if people got tired of using the word sustainability, but now the hot word is resiliency. And that goes right into really that retrofit, making the building stronger so they're more resilient down the road. What are you all hearing on that kind of resiliency, sustainability
one thing I know
trends?
we do is we harden buildings, right? I mean, and that was a big thing here in Florida and the hurricanes again, is hardening buildings, make them stronger. So when you retrofit, you're automatically doing that.
We're involved in several associations, the Metal Construction Association, the Metal Building Manufacturers Association, and we're working with them very closely on, resiliency and, and sustainability, both, just because we have the best story to tell, because we have the best product in metal roofing of all the products that are out there. So, shingles, if you have an old shingle roof in the residential area that we don't really work in, but, if you get 18 to 22 years out of your shingles, yahoo, but then metal panels are going to be double that. So not only are they stronger, but they're going to last twice as long. So what a great story for a homeowner, Yes, there's a little more investment up front, but you're going to get it back. And that roof isn't going to bug you but before you get your mortgage paid, So that's great. And in the commercial sector, same story. And on these bigger, larger areas, now we're giving them 50, 60, 70-year roofs capable of having photovoltaics added to them at any point going forward, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, and that roof will still outlast the photovoltaic panels. What a great story. So we're just touching on these things, and wind pressures are going up. The storms seem to be a little more intense these recent years. So, we can take that old 120 mile an hour building and bring it up to 170, 175 mile an hour or beyond if we need to with these systems. So what a great story to tell the building owner,
and then with this retrofit, we're creating a cavity that allows for insulation. It just goes on and on and on.
It's so true. And, when you talk about trends, I love, and you just started touching on it, is metal buildings are moving into residential, right? Through the barndominiums, people are realizing how quickly they can raise a metal building and have it dried in and be in, especially with such a need for housing. And so, at last year at MetalCon, we saw they built a barndominium in the middle of the show floor.
Gorgeous.
And a metal building. It was so cool.
It was so cool. Yeah.
And so I think those trends are only going to continue to grow as not just on the roofing, but on the metal building overall. And that strength is just key as we move forward with in fixing our old ones and building our new ones.
That's why I touched on, the way the industry is starting to see metal buildings now. Not just the industry, but the customers at all. No longer are they, just this a barn out there, that you're storing equipment in. They're now steak restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hotels.
Some of these metal buildings, you wouldn't even be able to tell they had a frame in them. It's come a really long way.
Yeah. I think it is so cool to watch the industry as they do it. And I really love, when I look back in 2025, what the metal industry has, like with all these associations, Dale, that you talked about, all of you, everybody is stepping up to tell that story and to really make it accessible. So 2026, I want to talk a little bit about what you see in the industry. And then I want to, end this up with a little bit of what you see for Roof Hugger. So what are some of the trends that you see continuing, or even new trends that are going to really kind of take some prominence in 2026? DJ, let's start with you.
I think Dale kind of hit it as we were going through 2025. We kind of hit a flat spot, and I personally believe that we're going to start going back up. In all of these association meetings, we hear these guys come in and they give their talks on the future financials, and I think everybody sees it the same way. So I see the line going up again. I'm not sure it's going to shoot up as as steep as we've seen in the past, but I think we're all in a really good spot. Metal is by far the most sustainable, resilient. The story now is being told. It's getting out there. When you compare it to concrete and even timbers now, we have that story, and I don't think it was really being told because maybe it didn't need to, but now it really is. And I think architects and designers are hearing it. And for us in the retrofit, buildings aren't getting, they don't get newer. They once they're built, they get to a point that they're going to need to be retrofitted. So in the retrofit, again, Roof Hugger has the best story out there. Not only are we going to use our expertise in office, but we're going to give you an engineered product that's going to add strength to your structure and allow you to hold the weight of the new retrofit, but also put solar on it. So I just see it just going forward. I mean, I don't see anything slowing down on. That's how I see it.
I love it. I love that. Dale, talk to us about 2026. What's in your crystal ball?
Well, I think you need to look back on metal buildings historically, and they originally were shade and shelter. They were the Quonset buildings from War II coming forward. From the 70s, the fledgling metal building industry was welded pipe many times with screw-down panels attached to it. Basically, shade and shelter is our history. And that's not a long history because I still remember it. So can't be that long ago. I'm a spring chicken, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's from whence we came. Fast forward to today, metal buildings are very sophisticated with mezzanine systems, overhangs, cantilevers. The panel finishes today are amazing. The painted roofs. We have wood grain walls in metal now that you got to touch it to make, because
to know.
You think it's wood, it's not. And so that whole sector of the metal industry is very exciting, very, very architecturally interesting to people who design and want new buildings. And the architectural schools are teaching metal building design now in many areas, and so this is a really exciting area. And then for retrofit, a lot of new products coming out. Of course, the Hugger and the purlin strengthening and all that stuff, bringing old buildings to code, but new wainscot wall panel systems to deal with the impact zones in the lower parts of the pre-engineered buildings. You can now get hard wall systems that can be retrofitted into the older buildings, panel overlays for the upper areas, just a whole myriad of things. And residentially, that's probably going to be the biggest growth, is retrofitting old shingled or tile roofed buildings with metal. It's lightweight. It weighs less than shingles, weighs a hell of a lot less than tile, and is going to have 2 or 3 times the life. And is going to withstand storm events way better than the original materials will. So I really expect to see significant, if not exponential, growth in the residential metal roofing area. So our industry on whole is in a great place. Our materials are 80% recycled. In some areas, even pushing 90% recycled material. You can't do that with a shingle. You can't do that with TPO. You can't. There is no other material that is recycled to the extent that metals are. It goes for aluminum as well as steel and copper. So, great product, great story. I think I'm excited. Looking forward as to what's on the horizon.
I think the more we hear about solar, metal is the perfect platform, right? So I think as buildings are being built, retrofits are being retrofitted. Typically, commercially, these are very large roofs. It lends itself well to solar. Metal, you don't have to penetrate. They have the clips. They mount right on perfectly. So I think, and metal is going to outlast solar, maybe times 2. So you don't have to worry about the solar or the roof going bad and before the solar. So.
Well, wow. I love it. I love this optimistic view of 2026. I agree with you. I've been seeing the exact same thing, sitting in the meetings, talking to the people, just seeing the interest in metal overall. And it makes me feel good to know that it's being led by gentlemen like you. Thank you both so much for your insights and your wisdom.
Thanks for having us on.
So much fun. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. And everyone out there, please be sure to check out the Roof Hugger directory on Metal Coffee Shop. Also, check out their website, which you can find in the directory because it's brand new with tons of great information. Be sure to check out all of our podcasts and subscribe and set those notifications so you don't miss a single episode. Gentlemen, again, thank you so much and Happy New Year.
Heidi.
And you, Heidi, and your team.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. We will see you in 2026. Have a great day.
Ready to raise the metal roof? Subscribe to MetalCast now and stay tuned for all things metal roofing. Go to metalcoffeeshop.com to learn more. Rock on, and we'll catch you on the next episode.